Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opus Otaku, the place where I blabber about Japanese cartoons. This video is the second part of the rating power system video, so if you haven't watched the first part, go watch it right now because you might miss your favorite power system. Also, my favorite Pringles flavor is sour cream and onion, which I'm eating while writing the script. First up, we have Nen, which is the power system in Hunter x Hunter. This is a very popular power system loved by a huge amount of people, and I must say, I agree. But I have one annoying problem, which is that there are so many versions and modifications of it. Nen fights are complicated, which is obviously the most fun part of Nen battles, but the function of each subclass is hard to remember. Obviously, I remember the names like Ko, Ken, Ryu, Go, Gyu, Gugu Gaga. Anyway, I remember most of the names because there are 3 letters, but it is super easy to become confusion between them. I feel like there haven't been any inconsistencies in the system so far. Quirks. I've started on the Chimera Ant arc, so I'm only talking about it until then. Now, all the 6 classes makes decent sense, and whatever power doesn't fit in any class is shoved into the specialist class by Togashi, which is understandable, because unlike One Piece where you can just create a new classification, the Nen system is very carefully thought, and a new class could ruin the entire power system. Speaking of classes, the connection between classes and personality is loved by everyone, and I love it too. So if you're wondering what all the advanced applications of Nen are, here's a quick summary of all of them. In, the advanced form of Zetsu, which is used to render your Nen unnoticeable. Zetsu stops the flow of Nen, but on the other hand, In hides Nen. It can also hide conjurations and transmutated items. Gyo, an advanced form of Ren, where Ren is concentrated into a specific body part, usually the eyes, which enables you to see items or people which are hidden by In. N, a technique formed when increasing the radius of Ren from your body and using Ten to simultaneously shape the Ren. Whoever steps into the radius of someone's N can be sensed by the user. Shu, a technique formed when Ten is extended onto a tool or weapon, which increases the tool's durability and strength depending on the user. Ko, a technique created when Ten, Zetsu, Ren, and Hatsu is concentrated into a specific portion of your body. Ko is normally used as a finishing attack because the rest of the user's body is vulnerable while using it. Ken, a defensive technique formed when a huge amount of Ren is released and becomes compressed by Ten, and is the best way to defend against Ko. Ryu, a technique used to split defense, which is Ken, and offense, which is Ko. This allows you to use Ko without leaving your body vulnerable, but the damage is decreased. This is very hard to master, and it is also important to learn how much percent the opponent is attacking with and defend just according to it. And if you're wondering, I just read the wiki page for this because why the fuck would I go back and watch all the episodes, are you dumb? So either way, I will be giving Nen an amazing A. It was this close to getting an S, but didn't, due to there being too many advanced techniques to remember. Next up, we have Devil Fruits, which I'm sure all One Piece fans out there have been itching for me to get to. When talking about Devil Fruits, everyone seems to have narrow vision that Devil Fruits are a good power system because everyone has their different abilities, blah blah blah. But that isn't true because stands have different abilities, Nen users have different abilities, quirks have different abilities, and if I were to list all the power systems in which everyone has different abilities, I would be here all day. But the reason Devil Fruits are a good power system is because Oda writes it in a great way. I mentioned in the last video that quirks are a bad power system because it is written in a bad way, making fights underwhelming. Now, Devil Fruits are absolutely amazing, but if I had to nitpick really hard, I must say that I find it really annoying that we haven't seen anyone pluck and eat a Devil Fruit. Every time someone's eaten one, it is either given to them or seen them holding it. You never see anyone finding it naturally, which is annoying. But definitely not enough to put it down a tier. It is not complicated and they are always different. It is also easy to write for the author because it doesn't need that much thought. You can just create a Devil Fruit which turns into a jacket, but if you were to make this power using Nen, you would have to consider all the rules, unlike Devil Fruits or stands where you can just go, I'm feeling at creating a power system which makes one-time use clothes, so I'll just do it. Now, like stands, Devil Fruits also have upgrades called Awakenings. When a Devil Fruit user awakens their fruit, their surroundings can be controlled in addition to the user's body. For example, if Luffy awakened his fruit, he would be able to change his surroundings into rubber too. There are only 2 confirmed awakened users, which I will not get into because spoilers. So at the end of the day, even though devil fruits are similar to stands or quirks, the most important part is how the author writes these fights and how creative they are. Oda is capable of making Rubber Boy into such a powerful character without the use of Haki, so devil fruits easily go into the S tier. Following the One Piece trend, next up we have Haki, which is the second power system in One Piece. There are 3 different types of Haki: Armament, Observation, and Conquerors Hockey. Starting off with Armament Haki, which I dislike quite a bit. Everyone thinks this makes total sense because it is a good counter towards Logia fruits, but in my opinion, it would have been much more fun if it wasn't the case. For example, when Luffy defeated Eneru because of his rubber fruit, it made so much sense and I loved it. Same with Crocodile being beaten by Luffy's blood. It would have probably been really hard for Oda to find these counters every time he created a Logia user, so I understand him taking the easy way out and just creating the same solution against every Logia user. Next up, we have Observation Haki, which there are a lot of different forms of. Thank God not all of them have different names, but here are some examples. Katakuri's Future Sight, Eneru's Observation Haki, which can sense people's intents, and the default Observation Haki, which can sense people's presences. Next we have Conquerors Hockey, which is present in 1 in a million people. Conquerors Hockey allows you to place the power of your will on top of others, instantly knocking them out. This is a rare power, and there's a new use of Conquerors Hockey, which I will not talk about because spoilers. Now, Haki on its own would have been really boring and generic. It would have been like, ooh, his Haki is better than mine and stuff. But in combination with Devil Fruits, Haki works perfectly. Like Luffy's Gear 4th, or Katakuri's Observation Haki with his Mochi Mochi no Mi. But, right now we're looking at Haki on its own, which is quite bland, so it will be earning a spot in the crappy C tier. So, for the 4th power system in this video, we have Ki. Probably one of the best power systems out there. Everyone has their unique attacks and not the same type of key beams. Absolutely amazing power system and easily gets a spot in the S tier. Moving on. So if you didn't realize it until now, that was a joke. A really bad one at that. So here's a key battle in a nutshell. First, good boy sees a bad boy. Bad boy too strong because his PP almost big as his ki. But good boy has small PP and therefore a small ki. To increase PP size, a special move called Force the Poop Out of Your Buttocks is used. When you use Force the Poop Out of Your Buttocks, your hair color changes to a variety of choices like blue, red, green, etc, etc. Yeah, sure hope you enjoyed my summary there, but essentially, all I'm trying to say is Ki is one of the worst power systems in this day and age. It would have been absolutely amazing 3 decades ago, but Ki is simply too bad comparing to all the power systems. All there is in Ki battles is screams, fireworks, cakes, punches, and people trying to poop. Every now and again, you see decently cool moves like After Images and Solar Flare, but it's not enough. So, since Ki is such a diverse and amazing power system, it'll be getting a spot in the S tier. Next up, we have breathing techniques from Demon Slayer. So you're probably thinking, okay, Opus hates element-based power systems, so it's probably gonna get a C tier or something. Well, in that case, you're wrong. First of all, I just need to mention how happy I am not to see the main character having super strength. Even though it wasn't thunder breathing, which if you didn't already know, I love lightning powers, water breathing felt quite amazing. It also doesn't have to be element-based techniques because there are stuff like flower breathing, beast breathing, love breathing, etc, etc. So in breathing techniques, there's a lot of space for new techniques, but not as much as Devil Fruits or stands. Now the fights in Demon Slayer are absolutely amazing. For example, the Arrow wannabe Blood Moon guy versus Tanjiro was absolutely amazing. It made a lot of sense, and for some time, Demon Slayer was a super strategic anime which I loved. Speaking about that fight, so many new breathing forms are shown. This was super exciting the first time, but after a while, only 10 breathing forms kinda got boring. It's obviously amazing compared to seeing Naruto spam Kage Bunshin and Rasengan for a decade or so, but still, it hasn't been used in a strategic manner for a long time. Tanjiro just uses which breathing form is the most fun in the situation, and there isn't any reason or planning behind it. That's why the Arrow wannabe Blood Moon guy versus Tanjiro was so fun. Now, I don't understand how breathing can summon different elements or animals. It could be that it's just visual effects, because without them the fights would just be people swinging swords. If anyone knows, please make sure to leave in the comments down below. I did some research on beast breathing because I thought it's just a cooler version of the two-sword style, but it turns out that it replicates the instinct of an animal and the user's moves are unpredictable and primal. It turns out beast breathing is a form of wind breathing, which I do not understand and won't try to. I'm super excited to see how Zenitsu is going to use his only breathing form. If it's not strategical and he spams Thunderclap and Flash without reason, I will forever hate Zenitsu. Either way, breathing techniques are heavily underrated and deserves a spot in an amazing A tier. For the final power system in this video, we have the Power of Titans, which I'm sure a lot of you might not agree with that it's a power system, but guess what? It is. The definition of a power system goes a little something like this. An in-universe system that explains the extraordinary powers and abilities of the characters. Several anime feature similar power systems, all of which are intended to provide some structure and explanation for the various abilities the characters have. So, the Nine Titans have an explanation, and it is a power which there are a lot of battles of. The Nine Titans appeared when Yumi Fritz, who gained the Power of Titans from the source of all power, was about to die and split her soul into 9 Titans. Here's a list of the 9 Titans: Attack Titan, Warhammer Titan, Colossal Titan, Armor Titan, Female Titan, Beast Titan, Car Titan, Jaw Titan, and finally the Founding Titan. Even though all of the inheritors of these Titans have the same type of power and they become big boys, they all look mostly like their normal face. I'm so glad that this isn't a natural power which is given to specific people from birth, but rather given to people who actually deserve it. So at first I didn't really know how to judge it because I never viewed it as a power system until recently. So I just decided I would rate it based on origin and by how much it enhances fights. Speaking about fights, there are not really too many Titan versus Titan fights, making them really rare and fun to watch. I'm always hyped for a Titan versus Titan fight because they're so rare. It increases the value of them just like how much diamonds are valued because they're so rare. This is probably the biggest selling point, and we have origin, which I explained earlier, so I won't go through it again. Obviously, I will not be giving it any higher than an A because there are literally 9 different powers, but I'll be giving it a B because even though there aren't too many Titan fights, when there are Titan fights, it's done amazingly. Now, I will say that this video might be a little bit wanky because I only spent 1 day writing the script and it was a bit hurried due to there not being much time. I'm feeling very burned out and, you know, I might die from depression. No, yeah, I'm just being lazy. Anyway, if you enjoyed this here video, make sure to comment down below saying which of my rating is wrong with an explanation because I would love to hear your thoughts about this. Also, please subscribe. Thank you. Bye.